Sorry. I need to clear my throat as usual. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Today is going to be a weird one, but first let me check my audio because it's kind of important if I'm doing a live stream. Uh, and I can hear my audio. Let me turn it down on my phone. I found out a good way of you guys not having to hear me ramble on about it. Let me show you my audio. Like, you know what? Uh, you just take my word for it. I have music down. If you hear any music, well, then you can just be assured it's not mine. I only have one thing that I've ever done with music, and I already gave credit in it. And, yeah. So let's get into this. Basically, uh, being in quarantine and pretty much just being alone with my thoughts a lot, um, I decided to get back in like Five Nights at Freddy's lore and stuff because it's really interesting. And I'm playing Minecraft because I want to explain like how things work because this like the lore hasn't even been solved. Because just like a puzzle, it hasn't been put together yet in the right place. And if you see this and you want to comment on it saying, oh, you doofus, you missed this, this, and that opens up holes to that, I don't care because you know what? It is just a theory of mine that I have been, like, deducing today that, went through my mind. Now, because I can't have this as long as I would like, and you guys probably wouldn't want to see me ramble on and on about, like, oh, this, and this, I'm mostly just gonna be going over the audio files for this game because I know some things that aren't really talked about. And if you want some more in-depth theories, I would definitely go and check out Game Theory. They have a bunch of theories on there about Fnaf and many other popular games. I just decided that when I was seeing some of his theories that I'm not really seeing some of this stuff. And this is I got most of my information other than the audio files from them, and I will give credit if I do find one that I've heard an audio file from them before. But yeah, go check them out if you want more in depth. And we are going to jump right into it. I don't really need to open chat right now. If I see something pop up, I'll just quickly go back. But I'm going to open up the video I'm going to be using to tell you how to, like, tell you the theory, basically, is what I'm trying to get at. Um, well, hello there, Mr. Bandito. Hope you have a nice day. And, let's get right into it. So, for some context, many of you may not actually know, many of you may know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. It's the most popular indie game, at least for a while. That up to my knowledge of this point, it is the most popular indie game. So, what Five Nights at Freddy's is? Five Nights at Freddy's is a game where you are in a, let's say, a Chuck E. Cheese type area. You're a night guard. And basically, there's these animatronics that like to roam around at night, and I don't know, well, I do know, sort of, but they jump scare you for quote unquote no reason, and I'll get into why I say no reason in just a minute here. Hold your horses. Um, as well as you basically are just trying to survive the night. I mean, that's really it. You don't get paid if you don't live, which I guess works out for them. Maybe we're all wrong. Okay, maybe the thing is they're programmed. You see, all this lore is behind nothing. You see, maybe they're programmed to specifically target the night guard because, you see, They don't want to have to pay him. Boom. Just blew all your theories out of the water. Live stream's done. See ya. I'm just kidding. No, I won't leave it off like that. They put way too much time into lore for it just to be they just don't want to pay you. So, uh, yeah. I'm gonna start off with some things to disclaim. Well, no, not disclaim. I say that a lot. That's meant for more like warning you. And now if something may happen where like my earpiece I'm listening to the audio files is to die, uh, then I'm just gonna warn you their voices are terrifying in a way. Not to me. I've just heard them so much that it's kind of just like say you have like a scary friend, but he's not scary to you because you know you've known him for so long. It's just like a new normal for you. That's pretty much what it is in a way. And whew, yeah, that's just a warning in case some younger viewers are watching and didn't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is. It's a horror game, and honestly, you know, I really dig it. Uh, I came into some decent amount of money. Now, depending on how I spend it, we may be doing an actual Five Nights at Freddy's live stream because, you know, what's it called? It would be kind of rude not to do it. Um, especially after doing an entire stream dedicated to its lore. But I am prioritizing me getting a computer because I want to play, you know, other games. I'm sure you don't like to see me play the same like 5 games on my PlayStation. But all right, let me pull up the audio files because it's really hard to do 3 things. Audio files, uh, ultimate. Wait, no. UCN. Alright, so, what's it called? I don't want to see all. Oh, all voice lines. That's good. Alright. Alright. Sorry, you're gonna hear me breathing. It's like an oven in my room. Which is another point. Okay, so, I'm gonna stop rambling and get into it because I do not want to make this like a 12-hour stream of me just trying to describe one thing. Uh, and also, if William Afton. Wait, God, mess up. I mean, if Scott Cawthon watches this, and is mad, first of all, you know, here's why you shouldn't be mad. I bought Sister Location, okay? And, yeah, so I pretty much paid vast sums of money for you, so, yeah, don't get worried about it. So, basically, uh, the story, at least what we know for a fact, is Five Nights. Okay, so there is a corporation called the Freddy Fazbear Entertainment Company, or no, sorry, Fazbear Entertainment, and the establishment for the pizzeria is owned by 2 guys. And you know what? Because so far we have no name for one of them, we're just gonna use what colors they are. One of them is suspected to be, uh, we'll just call him Mustard Man because I forgot his name. And then, Purple Guy. These 2 guys own the business per se. Like, they are co-owners. Now, if Mustard Man is who we think they are right now, this guy is the one who usually makes the animatronics for a thing. Like I said earlier in the thing, this is supposed to be like a Chuck E. Cheese establishment where they have entertainment by using animatronics to, you know, liven up the place. This guy's not evil. He's actually sort of like our savior, if you will, in this story. And well, I guess he doesn't save anyone. He just doesn't want to hurt anyone. This guy is, I would say pure evil, but he's not really when you actually think about it. Okay, I'm sorry. I have a hard time explaining this. If this was a video, I would have written like, I know I don't want my videos to be scripted, but I ramble off a lot. So usually if I'm gonna do something like this where I need to explain something, I would probably have a script so I don't miss something. 'Cause this game has like tons of lore. Okay, this thing, if you had like a meter, like say this purple bar was a meter, it's off the charts. Okay, this is where the chart caps off. It's like up friggin' here. So basically, these two business owners basically are, they're your typical owner. And so, like I said, this guy, if we think we know who he is, basically is the one making all the animatronics. Now, I'm gonna need you guys to do your own research on this because I can't really do infinite, just talking of explaining this because this is just a super long thing. Um, but basically, this guy makes like the original animatronics before they're tampered, okay, if you will. And Afton, this purple guy, his name is William Afton. Now, they're basically the thing we know for sure, because technically some of it the community doesn't know, and I keep saying we, just refer to them as the community if you don't understand. We don't know everything. We're taking guesses in a way to sort of enlighten it, but I'm just gonna sum it all up. Basically, he lures. Okay, so in the beginning, there's two original. Uh, what? I need yellow. Whatever. There's two original animatronics. Now these use spring-trap locking mechanism uh, suits. Basically, by that, and you can look this up. This was a real thing. Basically, what it is it's a animatronic that can also be used as a suit in case, like, it fails and you know. But if I'm sure you understand. Basically, these two are what's running the place. Well, basically, eventually, this dude, uh, we don't know which one yet, but the son of one of these two is taken here and is, what's it called, by his brothers and is put in the mouth of Fazbear, or I guess you could, uh, it, however you want to describe him, Golden Freddy, uh, Freddy Fazbear, whatever you prefer. Basically, he puts his head in there, and a a mechanism with these suits is when inside of them, if there's like a whole bunch of like motion or like there's a lot of moisture in the suits, they have this spring lock mechanism so you can use them as a suit or an animatronic that if they get moisture or keep getting like toyed around with in weird places, they will snap. And you may think, oh, you mean like, oh, it'll just fall over something. No, like these tiny little freaking razor sharp edges will just like fail, and whoever's inside of it gets horribly cut all over its body and most likely will die. There's like, if you're immortal, like, not immortal, if you're mortal, you're dead. Okay, there's no coming back from it. There's just it's either you're dead or you live by such a small margin that there's really no point in even living anymore. Basically, the kid, because he's scared of it, and the reason why is in Fnaf 4, and again, we're taking a guess at this. Fnaf 4, the one of these two guys, the son, is what's it called? Basically, keeps sneaking out to go to one of the establishments, and he doesn't like it because the kid keeps locking his door because he's mad, and he keeps like breaking out just to go back there. So, whatever the dad is, like whoever, puts these little chips, and this is real, like real life, this can happen, puts these little small discs that like emit a really high pitched sound, and that causes the boy to hallucinate and think of his favorite characters from the place as sort of like a basically a big teeth belly monster that literally seeks to get his blood. Well, so and the reason why I say this is in real life, the science behind it is your brain has to process like all these different things at one time. Like there's so many different noises, so many different things you're seeing at every given moment that it's trying to process. Well, your brain sort of has like a feature where if there's an easier way to do all this processing, it'll just do that. And so, and I botched this up. I should have rewatched some of the videos that explained this better before I did the stream, but whatever. Basically, in short term, because of this loud noise that you don't really comprehend, but your ears and your brain still register it, they will just, for some reason, trigger your fear and basically make you hallucinate, making you think you see horrible monsters. So where you may could see just like some random little, doodad down here, you'd see something with like razor sharp teeth that friggin' have the sole purpose to just like stab you and kill, basically just do the most horrendous things ever to you. So the dad uses these scare tactics to make the kid not really want to go to the establishments. So that way the kid doesn't, like, you know, get hurt. Well, so the kid. Oh no, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. Just completely forget that because it doesn't really tie in right. People have already confirmed that, at least that way of putting them in order to be false. Basically, Uh, I don't know if I said this. I probably did already. Michael Afton, based. I keep forgetting his name. I'll just refer him as Purple Guy. Purple Guy kills kids. Okay, he basically. Oh, I didn't say. Okay, so he dresses up in this suit right here. This is Fazbear and his buddy uh Golden Bonnie, some people refer him to, but technically in the end he becomes Springtrap. Basically, he goes into this suit and tries luring kids, and yes, this will be important. I'm not just trying to scare all you. He lures kids into like this parts and service room you may have seen if you've ever played the game, and murders them. He kills the kids and stuffs the bodies in this suit because, he's wearing this one. He doesn't want to have to, dress up in this one after he's just murdered like 50 kids and just stuffed them in suits. So basically, after the kid, well, you know what? I'll just put like, I'll make the kid out of both the colors because we don't really technically know who the kid is yet, like whose it is. So the kid sees this guy stuff the friggin' kids into a suit, and that scares them. Okay, that's why I said forget the things before, because that's what scares him is because he sees, these poor children that are defenseless get stuffed into a suit of his favorite like place to go. So he's traumatized. And well, so the brothers, because he's traumatized, as brothers do, they'll be little retards and traumatize the kid even more. So this guy, gosh darn it, we don't know this guy either. Uh, the firstborn out of one of these two stuffed the kid into the head, and basically the Springlock system fails on this guy and snaps the kid's head. Like there's, I'm surprised that he even was living because he did sort of live from it, but we'll get into that later. So basically, that's really all you need to know for right now. Basically, after a little while, they discover this thing called Remnant, which they start making all these other characters out of. So you have your normal people, so we'll just grab whatever. You have your Freddy, Chica, Bonnie, and Foxy if you count them. Like, so they don't really, I don't know why. Usually they don't really count Foxy, but basically they, not they, Purple Guy figures out that there's a thing called Remnant, and you can make, like, you can, basically you mix the kid's soul essence into the metal that they use to make the endoskeleton. That, basically, if you've ever been to, like, Chuck E. Cheese and you look closely at the robots, there is a robot, like, there's just plastic built around this like shiny thing inside. Basically, this is a endoskeleton, and we technically have an endoskeleton, but we're not robots. We just have a different type. Basically, the endoskeleton is what makes a robot, well, a robot. It gives it life, because otherwise it would just be a bunch of like plastic or whatever it is, just like sort of put on like a floor sort of thing. Like it would just be sitting there lifeless. So basically, he mixes the children's souls into the metal, and eventually they gain consciousness because there's this guy. Well, I guess technically a girl. This girl that is formerly known as Puppet gives them life. So, Puppet is sort of the first attempt at showing that, well, robots and humans can be combined. Basically, Purple Dude kills this girl. I don't remember her name right now, but I think it's. I don't know. Kills this girl, and she's outside of the. What's it called? Okay. He kills this girl. She's outside of the restaurant looking in, seeing everyone else have fun. And well, the thing is, in the robot's programming, this was before all of like this happened. In the programming, there is a system where if they like find a kid who's like by themselves or just like, you know, away from others, they'll send the robot, this puppet, would go after the kid and, try to bring him back to the group and stuff and just make them feel cared about. Well, so basically, this girl's outside and Purple Dude kills the little girl and leaves her in the alleyway and drives off. Well, the puppet had like noticed her because she was wearing this little band that you get so that way they can tell, if you're away from the group and junk. Basically, the puppet notices her and it's raining. It basically goes out into the alley to go comfort her, but the rain, breaks down the, parts, like it becomes unable to function because, it's a robot in the rain. And so it combines itself with her to basically sort of survive. And so her soul is stuck in the puppet suit, and I guess her physical form wasn't, but she basically becomes puppet. And when there's a whole bunch of remnant and junk going on and like kid murders, she puts their souls into the animatronics to, sort of give them amends, because, you don't want your just soul to be floating where you died. They want to give them life again, just like she had. And so, basically, what goes from here is, there is a bunch of stuff happening, and I'll get into this more when I go through the audio logs. I'm trying to speed this up because it's a long thing. I keep stumbling on making it go slower, but basically what happens is, a whole bunch of stuff happens. They have to keep opening new restaurants because there's murders and junk from the guy killing all the kids and stuffing them in different suits. And the reason why I say we might want to have some solace for this guy is because he. The reason why he's trying to figure out how to harness the soul abilities of like making a robot using kid souls is because technically he's trying to rebuild his either son or daughter. It depends because we really don't know who these kids are, especially with the latest game theory on this. Basically, what happens is, and in the end of, I can't remember what book it was, but it basically, I think this guy, the orange guy, if we know who he is, basically makes his daughter, who died at the age of 3, I'm pretty sure it was, he makes his daughter into like a robot. Like he doesn't use his physical daughter, like he uses, basically builds his own robot because he's sad about the death of his daughter, and sort of just makes her in 4 stages. Oh, it's called, okay, the book's called The Fourth Closet. And I'm sorry about spoilers, but this is technically just a big spoiler. Basically, at the end of The Fourth Closet, it talks about how this guy had made 4 versions of his daughter who died, and they were to resemble what parts of their life that she would have never experienced. You have one as a baby, you have one as a tween, one as a teen, and one as a adult. And that's what it's representing, the fourth closet. You've already seen all these, and at the end you have, the adult. And basically, these guys are both just trying to make, kids who they lost. So this guy's just trying to figure out how to use Remnant to, I guess, fix his son. Because of the famous quote, I will put you back together. But that could be for either of these guys, because this guy lost a daughter and this guy, I guess, lost a son. I don't know. I'm just, we're technically we have a good theory, and like I said, go check out game theory. They have way better explanations of this stuff than I do. But I'm trying to go over the audio log. So all this happens throughout the games. They have different locations, different reasons why they closed down, and different reasons why they were open. But in FNAF, I think it was Pizza Simulator. No, it's FNAF Ultimate Custom Night. We actually get to hear what the voices of these robots sound like, and some things. So, a couple more things. FNAF 6, so this was like right before Ultimate Custom Night. Well, I guess not right before, but FNAF 6 is a pizza simulator where you basically take these robots in and you make them into what you want. Basically, William Afton is going to hell. Basically, that's really basically he's damned because I mean, obviously you're not going to heaven. I'm sorry if it, and this is just personal advice. If you kill a bunch of kids or kill anyone, you're most likely not getting into heaven. I mean, this guy didn't kill a single soul, and he still just tried to make amends and make his daughter by just making a robot. He didn't kill anyone, he just made a robot because that's what he was good at. This guy decides that it's not worth just making a robot. He's gonna build his son back together. And yeah, killing a bunch of people are going. So back basically at the end of FNAF 6, this guy uh okay, so like I said, you go through the game, you get a whole bunch of animatronics that are out in the alley, and you basically are trapped inside the pizzeria with them. You become like the night guard or whatever. So, and I'm assuming that you're this guy. No, wait, 'cause that wouldn't work. Cause dang it, I forgot about that. Okay, so really quickly, and I know I keep messing this up. I'm sorry it's not clear, but this is I'm not very good at explaining things in my head. Basically, the souls of the children get released. And this is like previous to FNAF 3. Basically, the kids want revenge for what this guy did to them. And so the souls start like going to attack him. And in a quick attempt to escape, he goes inside the Springtrap suit. And in his haste, he basically jumps in it real fast. And like, the room was damp already because like you can see the roof leaking. Basically, the Springtrap suit mangles him. Literally, the spring traps, I mean, the spring locks snap and they crush him inside of it, but he doesn't die. And I'll put this on the chest. Famous quote: I always come back. Swear. I always come back. That's the famous quote, and we're gonna put red on it to show that he is inside of it because it looks gross. If you've ever played FNAF 3 and you wondered why there was meat in there, that's his. That's like him in there. That's the reason why there's a skull on top. That's why it looks like it's rotting. He's in there, and he can't die. And we'll get into that in a minute. So basically, that's how FNAF 3 comes about. Uh, he is just a what's it called? He's inside the suit, and the reason why he hasn't done anything yet was because in FNAF 3 you're in a different section of the pizzeria, and we know this because basically this guy sealed him into a wall, like behind a wall, and you basically have a whole bunch of the memorabilia from the other restaurants, and you're basically just trying to lure him away from you. I don't know why they, you know, made you do it. I don't know why you're there, but so that's about it. Sister Location's all about like, basically uh the animatronics and the souls of the kids were mixed into these different like bodies, and eventually were all combined into one. At the end, you'll see Ennard. Here comes Mom's spaghetti and spit up into the vents. And yeah, that's it's basically a storyline. Then you go FNAF 6. It's a pizza simulator to get rid of all the souls, trying to make amends. And But the problem with it, and this was what I said I would be getting to, the problem with it is there's one person who won't let everyone die. And this is why this guy has the quote, I will always come back, is because there's one person he shouldn't have killed, and now we sort of know. No, we do know who it is, because in the voice casting it says Vengeful Spirit. Basically, the spirits don't want him to die. They want to make him suffer. They want to make him feel the pain that they've had to endure. And so that's why he just can't die. He always comes back, as the thing says. Basically, one of the very first children that he killed is inside of Golden Freddy. And now, you may be thinking, well, if Golden Freddy has spirits inside of him, then why can't he move around? That's because his spring locks aren't set. And, okay, so, like I said earlier, the spring lock suits, if there's moisture, it'll, like, crunch inside. And basically, when it crunches, it just, like, falls to the floor almost. Basically, the animatronics over here move because they're not spring lock suits. They're just normal animatronics that use, like, the normals. These guys, if their springs are the locks aren't set, they'll just like clump over. That's why you see Golden Freddy in his clumped over state all the time. So what's it called? Basically, the vengeful spirit in here, and these guys still are pissed off with them, but I mean, you can sort of tell, like, they hate them, but they sort of just want to go to rest because, they're tired of having to keep killing. Sorry, I got scared. There was, like, something outside happening. Basically, that's really what happens. He can't die because they won't let his spirit die. They want him to suffer. Now, they said at the end of Fnaf 6, like, they burned all the animatronics because, they wanted this all to end, for the murdering of the kids to stop happening and junk. They just wanted closure. They wanted it to be finished. They wanted everything to die. But remember, I always come back. The one spirit just won't let him get off the hook. Like, he's trapped forever. There's no stopping it. Whatever, this, like, no matter what they do, this one spirit, well, I guess there's multiple in here, but the spirit won't let him leave. He is trapped there for all eternity, well, at least on Earth. He's trapped. And so, basically, that's sort of the end of the story. Uh, except for, because he always comes back in FNAF VR Help Wanted, he comes back as a virus. He uploaded himself to, basically they were scrounging around. It was supposed to, like, tie off loose things and ideas. Basically, FNAF VR was just, like, the story goes that it was supposed to be a cover-up to, like, hide all the past events that happened. But they use, like, old computer bits and stuff to design the game and make the game, and Afton uploaded himself as a glitch trap, which you see if you've ever collected all the tapes, or pretty much any of the tapes in FNAF VR. You can see a little bunny guy, and it's pretty darn scary. And because we don't really know what's going to be expected of Five Nights at Freddy's, what's it called, Security Breach. I'm just gonna leave all that there, but I'm gonna get into the audio files and clear up some things that I think could help you guys figure that out. So let me pull up the files Because I listened to these earlier and I was actually really like, sorry, I just saw something funny. All voice lines. Alright, so I'm just gonna like play it in my headset. It may be a little bit quiet. Uh, Now that's because I don't want to get in trouble for copyright. Basically, I'm going to watch this video by Jay's Cinema. Here, I'll restart it. I'll give you guys a couple seconds if you want to go get that up and then come back. Or like have it open on a separate thing. Go to all UCN voice lines with subtitles. All Ultimate Custom Night voice lines with subtitles. By Jay's Cinema. That's what I'm using. So if you hear any audio, go check him out, I guess. And I'm gonna start it now. I do this in case you want to like keep up with me and see where I'm watching. So it starts on Foxy, but you know his first line's not anything. Second one's not really anything. Third one doesn't really. So the fourth one sort of interests me. I can't run like I used to, but I can pull myself apart just fine. Now, if there's like a couple words different, this would 100% be something. But to me, this sort of proves that these are kids talking in a way. I can't run like I used to, and I think of this as maybe it's like a kid thinking like, "Oh, I used to be able to run real fast, but, you know, now I'm just a hunk of metal, now I run real slow, but I can pull myself apart just fine." Obviously as a kid, you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, rip off your arm or take out your eye. But as an animatronic with just fake skin that I guess technically rots over time, it sort of is real easy to pull yourself. So that to me is sort of like an indicator, like yeah, it's true, he did kill him, and now their spirits are in there. That's not a full indication, but that's just how I think of this one. This one's not one of the better ones. I just thought I should throw that one out. I'm going on again. Uh, what's it called? So the next one, right after that one, is are so much more spacious in here, I may stay a while. This one again's kind of iffy, but in my mind, I think of it as it's so much more spacious in here because you're in a big office, and he may be saying that because he may be thinking back to where he died in the parts and service closet, where it's really small and cramped in there. So that could be another indication, you know, like I said, not as big. I'm gonna continue. Now we're on to Toy Freddy. Alright, it's not anything yet. So, now we're on to Toy Chica, and the first one in this video is you won't get tired of dying, will you? This was, and I will credit this, I did hear this one go in Game Theory's video. Basically, what this is like referring to is because they won't let him die, they keep like bringing him back to be tormented, like in purgatory. Basically, this is referring to, you know, he can't die, so and it's supposed to be kind of like, you know, a little bit funny because in Fnaf World, there's a voice line by Toy Chica in, I think, Foxy Star Rays or something. Basically, like Mr. Or, I mean, it's pretty much just like a Foxy version of Star Fox. Basically, Toy Chica has a line where she says, you won't get tired of my voice, will you?" So it's supposed to be sort of like a funny comment, but also, he can't die, so I'll move on. And right now it just says, "You won't get tired of my voice, will you?" That's just to prove my point. It was a thing. Now, this next one sort of speaks to me in a way. "Let's go somewhere more private so I can eat you," is what she says. I sort of take that kind of like a. Basically, I say this. I feel like it's sort of like trying to show, like, "Hey, you did this to me, let me do it to you." Obviously, he didn't eat her, but basically, this sort of makes me think of it where it's like, oh, she's trying to lure him somewhere after she lured him somewhere. I mean, she's trying to lure him somewhere because he lured her somewhere, and she wants to pretty much just kill him to make him feel pain. But let's just continue. That wasn't a better one like usual. So now we're on the main goal. Don't be afraid, and you'll just be like me, beautiful. So this one sort of speaks out to me, and I know I keep pausing, but that's because, I was meaning for this to be going over the voice lines. Basically, it says, "Now I get to play take apart and put you back together, you won't feel a thing." This sort of is like, in a way where it's like, oh, he had no remorse when they took, he killed her. Why would she have remorse? Because technically, like, if you look at Mangle, it's horrible. Like, honestly, like, they just completely, whoever did it was on something. That's what I'm saying. They were on something. So maybe they still feel pain. No, oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, they do still feel pain because, they're tormented by the fact that they're just stuck in animatronics and can't live their lives or die. Alright, so this is another quote. This is what I was talking about earlier. So Mangle says, "He's here and always watching, the one you shouldn't have killed." What that's referring to is, the first victim, the first death, the one you should not have killed. This is the vengeful spirit that won't let him die, and she's trying to say that he has never ever taken his eyes off of you. He's always watching, and he just wants you to know he shouldn't have killed him, man. I'm gonna continue. Now we're on to like Withered Chica. First one's not really like. So this one is sort of like hurrah, like, let me show you how to break your face and you'll just like look just like me. Because if you see that image, she looks horrible. Like, she looks like in constant pain, and trying to make him feel her pain. So this is actually sort of a good thing to get across. She says, "I was the first. I have seen everything." And that's true. Basically, if you don't know, Chica came from a different, what's it called? A different, like, what's it called? Different, like, establishment altogether. And this sort of is also something that helps screw up the timeline because it's kind of weird to fit her in because it's like, well, then who was put into Chica? Because if she was the first, then why wasn't she there in the beginning? Or like, wait, I don't know. That's just how I see it. Is it's like, well, if you were the first, then who killed you? Because, the first couple dead were put in the original two suits. But then again, I think it was because there was like multiple establishments at the time, and I don't know. Let's move on. All right, so this one sort of helps say because it's like she isn't the one that you shouldn't have killed, which sort of helps clear up. Basically, she says, "I have seen him, the one you should not have killed," and referring back to there, I'm just gonna pause every time they say that, so if you ever figure something out using this video, which probably not gonna happen, we're like an hour in, and I'm just now getting to like the voice lines. I'm just gonna pause, say this is another one, and who says it, and then just get back to it. So, yeah, Wizard Chica says it as well. Now we're on Withered Bonnie. Oh, wait. That first one was good. Time to face the failures of the con. No, time to face the consequences of your failure. Basically, like I said, he's trying to rebuild his son, and the thing is it's like he doesn't have any consequences. He's never been taken to court and stuff because they never caught him. Well, basically because he failed at rebuilding his son, now he's faced to leave, like, faced to deal with the consequences. And yeah, so he's dealing with the consequences of what he failed by killing all the kids instead of trying to find an actual solution. You might as well face facts. You were always destined to fail. Okay, so this one's sort of interesting. Another one by Witherbonny. Might as well face the facts. You're always destined to fail. That's sort of interesting because it's like, yeah, technically you were always destined to fail. I mean, literally think of it. You're putting souls of children that you brutally murdered and stuffed into suits. You're putting their souls into animatronics to see if you can build a robot son. I mean, that just sounds impossibly, like, dumb, as well as you're always destined to fail. I mean, it's true. Alright, I'm gonna continue. Alright, so this is one that I like. What is this prison? Is it me trapped or is it you? Perhaps it's us both. That's referring to the fact that it's not just William Afton or it's not just Purple Guy who's stuck there, it's everyone. Because in Ultimate Custom Night, they're all here. So basically, what this is referring to is it's like, well, it may be you who is trapped, but it's everyone who is still in constant torment. I'm continuing. What's it called? So this next one, sorry, I didn't realize how good Wither Bonnie really just sums it up. I may be missing my face, but even I could see this coming. He's sort of relating it to like you I may be like friggin' what's it called? I may be disabled or I may be Yeah, pretty much. I may be disabled, but even I could see that these people would still come after you, even though you may not have thought it. So he was kind of dumb to think that his actions wouldn't have consequences. I'm continuing. Alright, now we're on Puppet. So there was one, what's it called? So Puppet has a lot of good voice lines. Basically, the first one was saying, I love to see you powerless. That's because, like, you know, he killed her, really unrightfully. I mean, at this point, he didn't even know that, like, stuff like this would exist. He just killed a kid for no reason. Um, Second one was like, oh, the others are like animals, but I'm more aware. Basically, what that's saying is it's like, sort of, it's like they are animals in the sense that they want to like kill you. Like they're just barbaric, but she's more aware that killing you won't do anything. I don't, and then this next one, I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way. It's because Puppet, like I said, brings all these like people back to life and gives them like, some way to get back. And he's getting in Puppet's way of trying to do that. This next one, sorry, a bunch of them have like really good quotes. I recognize you, but I'm not afraid of you, not anymore. As a girl, Puppet may have been scared because obviously a big man that kills you is scary. But I'm not afraid of you anymore. Is it's because like it's not her that's well, I guess technically it sort of is her being tortured. It's not just her though who's being tortured. She sort of likes to see Afton suffer. She loves the fact that now he's powerless. The others are under my protection. That relates to the fact that she had, protected their soul. She gave them life. Alright, now we're on Nightmare Freddy. Okay. Oh, wait a minute! That one actually, oh my god. That actually could help a really big margin. Nightmare Freddy from Fnaf 4 says, I am remade, but not by you, the one you should not have killed. In my mind, this only leaves two people it could be. It could either be the one person's son. Wait, no. Okay. The one you should not have killed, in my opinion, relates to what's it called? What we'd think maybe the vengeful spirit, but these animatronics have only been brought back by Puppet. So it's either I am remade by like saying maybe like the kid, crying child. Maybe it's referring to like because in this game it's his fear that creates this, or maybe Puppet. So maybe the vengeful spirit may not even be like Golden Freddy or Golden Fredbear at all. It could be like Puppet, for instance, or maybe the crying child, who I think is inside of Fredbear. No light can save you now. That's referring to the thing that he can't die. I've always been hiding in your shadow. I it could be referring to the fact that, they were shoved into a closet and junk. Now, this one I've seen for sure in game theory. What a gift to relish. A victim that cannot perish refers to the fact, like I said, he cannot die, and they're getting amusement out of it because, he killed them. So, this one says, I am given flesh to be your tormentor. Now, this is actually really a powerful statement saying, like, whoever this vengeful spirit is gave him life to get back on Afton. Alright, now we're on Nightmare Balloon Boy. So, this one sort of tickles something like, hey, 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 you're not so big, just a bite sized morsel. In Nightmare Balloon Boy, I'm pretty sure was in Fnaf 4. Possibly, I'm not sure if he was. I didn't remember him being in there, but I mean, that's where he looks like he's from. Basically, if he was in there, we could sort of confirm that the person in the fourth game was the crying child because, well, like, he was supposed to be scared of the place and a bite size, like, yeah, he could just be trying to intimidate like, maybe Afton, but in my opinion, I think he's talking about the crying child. You knew I'd get you eventually. That refers to the fact, like, he knew his consequences would catch up. Gosh darn it. I gotta add. There isn't room in here for the both of us. I think that's just intimidation. Okay, so let me put you back together and then take you apart all over again. Sorry, like I said, it's hot and I haven't had water in a tiny bit today. So, what that's referring to is in the stories, in the books, and even in the games, it has always been five things put into one, or something that has been taken apart and put in back together new. Like, say, maybe the original animatronics put into the sister locations animatronics, stuff like that. So, just tormenting after more. I assure you I'm very real. Trying to scare them, show them that, like, hey, this isn't just a dream. This is, whatever. We know who our friends are and you are not one of them. That refers to the fact, like, all these kids were killed. They all have a, mutual party and they're like, you know what? If we're gonna live in eternal damnation, we might as well be friends. But he is not one of them because he killed them. You will not be spared. You will not be saved. This is Nightmare Fredbear, I think. That refers to, like, they're vengeful. They don't want him to die because they want to keep tormenting him. You will not be spared, so you will not be, like, killed off, and you will not be saved. No one can save you from this torment. So basically, the last two. Sorry, I was gonna pause, but I didn't realize what it meant for a minute. I am made of your wickedness. Basically, it was like, I'm made of your past choices. And then I'm here to claim what is left of you. That is referring to like, hey, all of us want a piece of him to, torment him. So he's coming up to, get his piece. I will vomit you back to relive your horror. Now this is where it's interesting because when I think of like the vengeful spirit reanimated me and stuff like that, I think of it being more like a the puppet because the puppet gave all them life. He helped the souls. But this one, my golden Fredbear or nightmare gold Fredbear or whatever you want to say, I will vomit you back to relive your horror. Basically, it sounds more of like who's doing it because it's a vengeful spirit. I will, put you back, like vomit you back, like I will chew you up and spit you out to make you face it all again. Alright, now we're on Nightmare Chica or Pumpkin Chica, however you want to say it. I'm just gonna sum all hers up because we need to start going a little faster. Ma should be coming home soon, and I'll probably do just like a part two of this. Basically, all of hers relate to, her being like really hot and on fire, and that, you know, that basically that they're all trapped in hell, and she wants to see him burn as well. We skip past. And she also talks about like the one you shouldn't have killed. Uh, Nightmare Marionette or Nightmare Puppet, I don't really know. Basically, is basically they all talk about death and death and death and death. Like you're stuck here. I'm not gonna let you go. I'm here by the one you should not have killed. Basically, they're just saying F you, Afton. We're not gonna let you just get away that easy. Let me skip. I'm gonna go to Mr. I'm just gonna go to Hippo and then end it off. Cause I'll come back and I'll like watch my stream to see where I like last ended it off. But I'm going to Mr. Hippo because he has the best ones in my opinion. Because those are the most insightful. Alright, speech one. Alright, so he says, and this is a long one. My friend, you have met a terrible, terrible demise, but I don't feel too bad about it. After all, if it weren't for me, it would have just been someone else. I guess what I'm trying to say is life goes on. Well, for everyone else, life goes on, not for you. You're dead. That's neither here nor there. It reminds me of one summer day at the park when I was having a delightful picnic with my good friend Orville, and I said to him, I said, Orville, I have a story. And he said, well, what's the significance of the story? And I said to him, Orville, not every story has to have significance. Sometimes the story is just a story. You gotta read into every little thing and find meaning in every little thing, and everyone says they'll just drive you mad and crazy. Had a friend do it once. A minute. Had a friend do it once. Wasn't pretty. We talked about it for years. And not only that, but you'll likely end up believing something you shouldn't believe, thinking something you shouldn't think, or assuming something you shouldn't assume. Sometimes I said a story it is just a story, so just be quiet for 1 second, life, and eat your sandwich, of course. It was only then I realized I made sandwiches. Poor Orville having such a difficulty eating it. Elephants have those clumsy hands. Actually, I suppose that's the problem. They don't have hands at all, do they? They are all feet, and I couldn't imagine someone asking me to eat a sandwich with my feet. Now, if I recall correctly, there's a bakery nearby, and I said to him, Orville, let me go get you some rye bread. Now, I was unsure if elephants enjoy rye bread, but I was assured you that Orville does. Now, this was on a Tuesday, which was good because the rye bread was always fresh on Tuesday. They made sourdough bread on Monday and threw it out Wednesday, or rather, they sold at a discount for people wanting to feed the ducks. Probably at the end of the day, finally, they threw it out all. I don't recall. Wait, what? Okay, you know what? I encourage you to go listen to all of Orville's stuff. I'm sorry, I gotta end the stream, guys. It's just getting really close to the time my mom gets home, and I didn't want to do this too long. This was like a 2 hour stream. So I'm just gonna sum it up real quickly. Or, Mr. Hippo, you know what? I'll just do an entire separate stream talking about that, because that I love that guy, honestly. That I tell my story somewhat like him, like I branch off in random places. But yeah. So if you like this video, please leave a like and a comment saying why. If you would subscribe, that would be mostly appreciated. And get some friends watching. I'd love to get some more feedback on my videos. And with that, I hope all of you watching have a great day, and see you next stream.